Moses assembled the entire assembly of the children of Israel and said to them, "These are the things that Hashem commanded to do them. On 6 days work may be done, but the seventh day shall be holy for you, a day of complete rest for Hashem. Whoever does work on it shall be put to death. You shall not kindle fire in any of your dwellings on the Sabbath day." Moses said to the entire assembly of the children of Israel, saying, "This is the word that Hashem has commanded, saying, take from yourselves a portion for Hashem. Everyone whose heart motivates him shall bring it as the gift for Hashem: gold, silver, copper, turquoise, purple and scarlet wool, linen, goat hair, red-dyed ram skins, tachash skins, acacia wood, oil for illumination, spices for the anointment oil and the aromatic incense, shoham stones and stones for the settings, for the ephod and the breastplate. Every wise-hearted person among you shall come and make everything that Hashem has commanded: the tabernacle, its tent and its cover, its hooks, its planks, its bars, its pillars and its sockets, the ark and its staves, the cover, the partition curtain, the table, its staves and all its utensils, and the showbread, the menorah of illumination, its utensils and its lamps, and oil for the illumination, the incense altar and its staves, the anointment oil and the incense spices, and the entrance screen for the entrance of the tabernacle, the elevation offering altar and the copper netting for it, its staves and all its utensils, the laver and its base, the curtains of the courtyard, its pillars and its sockets, and the screen of the gate of the courtyard, the pegs of the tabernacle, the pegs of the courtyard and their cords, the knit vestments to serve in the sanctuary, the sacred investments for Aaron the Cohen, and the vestments of his sons to minister. The entire assembly of the children of Israel left Moses' presence. Every man whose heart inspired him came, and everyone whose spirit motivated him brought the portion of Hashem for the work of the tent of meeting, for all its labor, and for the sacred vestments. The men came with the women. Everyone whose heart motivated him brought bracelets, nose rings, body ornaments, all sorts of gold ornaments. Every man who raised up an offering of gold to Hashem. Every man with whom was found turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, linen, and goat hair, red-dyed ram skins, and tachash skins brought them. All who separated a portion of silver or copper brought it as a portion for Hashem, and everyone with whom there was acacia wood for any work of the labor brought it. Every wise-hearted woman spun with her hands, and they brought the spun yarn of turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, and the linen. All the women whose hearts inspired them with wisdom spun the goat hair. The leaders brought the shoham stones, and the stones for the settings of the ephod and the breastplate, the spice and the oil for illumination, and for the anointment oil, and the incense spices. Every man and woman whose heart motivated them to bring for any of the work that Hashem had commanded to make through Moses. The children of Israel brought a free-willed offering to Hashem. Moses said to the children of Israel, "See, Hashem has proclaimed by name Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. He filled him with godly spirit, with wisdom, insight, and knowledge, and with every craft, to weave designs, to work with gold, silver, and copper, stone cutting for setting, and wood carving, to perform every craft of design. He gave him the ability to teach, him and Holiab, son of Ashmach, of the tribe of Dan. He filled them with a wise heart to do every craft of the carver, weaver of designs, and embroiderer, with the turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, and the linen, and the weaver, the artisans of every craft and makers of designs. Bezalel shall carry out with Holiab and every wise-hearted man within whom Hashem has endowed wisdom and insight to know and to do all the work for the labor of the sanctuary, everything that Hashem had commanded. Moses summoned Bezalel, Oholiab, and every wise-hearted man whose heart Hashem endowed with wisdom, everyone whose heart inspired him, to approach the work, to do it. From Moses' presence they took the entire gift the children of Israel had brought for the labor of the sanctuary to do it, but they continued to bring him free-willed gifts morning after morning. All the wise people came, those performing all the sacred work, each of them from his work that they were doing. And they said to Moses as follows: The people are bringing more than enough for the labor of the work that Hashem has commanded to perform. Moses commanded that they proclaim throughout the camp, saying, Man and woman shall not do more work toward the gift for the sanctuary. And the people were restrained from bringing. But the work had been enough for all the work to do it, and there was extra. All the wise-hearted among those doing the work made the tabernacle, 10 curtains of linen twisted with turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool. They made them with a woven design of cherubs. The length of each curtain was 28 cubits, and the width of each curtain was 4 cubits, the same measure for all the curtains. He attached 5 curtains to one another, and 5 curtains he attached to another. He made loops of turquoise wool on the edge of a single curtain at the end of one set. So he did at the edge of the outermost curtain on the second set. He made 50 loops on the one curtain, and he made 50 loops at the end of the curtain that was the second set, the loops corresponding to one another. He made 50 clasps of gold and attached the curtains to one another with the clasps, so the tabernacle became one. He made curtains of goat hair for a tent over the tabernacle. He made them 11 curtains. The length of each curtain was 30 cubits, and the width of each curtain was 4 cubits, the same measure for the 11 curtains. He attached 5 curtains separately and 6 curtains separately. He made 50 loops on the edge of the outermost curtain of the set, and he made 50 loops on the edge of the curtain of the second set. He made 50 clasps of copper to attach the tent so it would become one. He made a cover for the tent of red-dyed ram skins and a cover of tanash skins on the top. He made the planks for the tabernacle of acacia wood, standing erect. 10 cubits was the height of the plank, and 1.5 cubits was the width of each plank. Each plank shall have 2 tenons, parallel to one another. So he did for all the planks of the tabernacle. He made the planks for the tabernacle, 20 planks for the south side. He made 40 silver sockets under the 20 planks, 2 sockets under one plank for its 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under the next plank for its 2 tenons. And for the second wall of the tabernacle on its north side, he made 20 planks. There are 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one plank, and 2 sockets under the next plank. For the back of the tabernacle on the west, he made 6 planks. He made 2 planks for the corners of the tabernacle in the back. They were even at the bottom, and together they were matching at the top to a single ring. So he did to them both at the 2 corners. There were 8 planks, and their silver sockets, 16 sockets, 2 sockets, 2 sockets under each plank. He made bars of acacia wood, 5 for the planks of one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the planks of the second side, and 5 bars for the planks of the tabernacle at the back on the west. He made the middle bar to extend with the planks from end to end. He covered the planks with gold and made their rings of gold as housings for the bars, and he covered the bars with gold. He made the partition of turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool and linen twisted. He made it with a woven design of cherubs. He made it 4 pillars of acacia wood and plated them with gold. Their hooks were gold, and he cast for them 4 sockets of silver. For the entrance of the tent, he made a screen of turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool and linen, twisted work of an embroiderer. Its pillars were 5, and their hooks, and he planted their tops and their bands with gold, and their sockets were 5 of copper. Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits its length, 1.5 cubits its width, and 1.5 cubits its height. He covered it with pure gold, within and without, and he made for it a gold crown all around. He cast for them 4 rings of gold on its 4 corners, 2 rings on its one side, and 2 rings on its second side. He made staves of acacia wood, and covered them with gold. He inserted the staves in the rings on the sides of the ark to carry the ark. He made a cover of pure gold, 2.5 cubits its length, and 1.5 cubits its width. He made 2 cherubs of gold. Hammered out did he make them. From the 2 ends of the cover, 1 cherub from the end on one side, and 1 cherub from the end on the other. From the cover did he make the cherubs from its 2 ends. The cherubs were with wings spread upward, sheltering the cover with their wings, with their faces toward one another. Toward the cover were the faces of the cherubs. He made the table of acacia wood, 2 cubits its length, a cubit its width, and a cubit and a half its height. He covered it with pure gold, and made for it a gold crown all around. He made for it a molding of 1 hand breadth all around, and he made a gold crown for its molding all around. He cast for it 4 rings of gold, and placed the rings on the 4 corners of its 4 legs. The rings were opposite the molding as housing for staves to carry the table. He made the staves of acacia wood, and covered them with gold to carry the table. He made the utensils that were on the table, its dishes, its spoons, its pillars, and its shelving tubes, with which it was covered of pure gold. He made the menorah of pure gold. Hammered out did he make the menorah. Its base and its staff, its cups, its knobs, and its flowers were from it. 6 branches emerged from its sides, 3 branches of the menorah from its side, and 3 branches of the menorah from its second side. 3 cups engraved like almonds on the one branch, a knob and a flower, and 3 cups engraved like almonds, a knob and a flower on the next branch. So for the 6 branches that emerged from the menorah. And on the menorah were 4 cups engraved like almonds, its knobs and its blossoms. A knob was under 2 of the branches from it, a knob was under 2 of the branches from it, and a knob was under 2 of the branches from it, for the 6 branches emerging from it. Their knobs and branches were of it, of a single hammered piece of pure gold. He made its lamps 7, and its tongs and spoons of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold did he make it, and all its utensils. He made the incense altar of acacia wood, a cubit its length, and a cubit its width, square, and 2 cubits its height. From it were its horns. He covered it with pure gold, its roof and its walls all around, and its horns, and he made for it a gold crown all around. He made for it 2 gold rings under its crown, on its 2 corners, on its 2 sides as housings for staves, with which to carry it. He made the staves of acacia wood, and covered them with gold. He made the anointment oil, holy, and the incense spice, pure, a perfumer's handiwork. He made the elevation offering altar of acacia wood, 5 cubits its length, and 5 cubits its width, square, and 3 cubits its height. He made its horns on its 4 corners. From it were its horns, and he covered it with copper. He made all the utensils of the altar, the pots, the stoves, the basins, the forks, and the fire pans. He made all its utensils of copper. He made for the altar a netting of copper meshwork, below its surrounding border downwards until its midpoint. He cast 4 rings on the 4 edges of the copper netting as housing for the staves. He made the staves of acacia wood, and covered them with copper. He inserted the staves in the rings on the sides of the altar with which to carry it. Hollow of boards did he make it. He made the laver of copper, and its base of copper, from the mirrors of its legions who massed at the entrance of the tent of meeting. He made the courtyard on the south side, the lace hanging of the courtyard of twisted linen 100 cubits, their pillars 20, and their sockets 20, of copper, the hooks of the pillars, and their bands of silver. On the north side 100 cubits, their pillars 20, and their sockets 20, of copper, the hooks of the pillars, and their bands of silver. On the west side, lace hanging of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10, the hooks of the pillar, and their bands of silver. And on the eastern side 50 cubits, 15-cubit lace hangings at the shoulder, their pillar 3, and their sockets 3, and at the second shoulder on either side of the gate of the courtyard, 15-cubit lace hangings, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. All the lace hangings of the courtyard all around were of twisted linen. The sockets of the pillar were copper, the hooks of the pillar and their bands were silver, and the plating of their tops were silver. They were banded with silver, all the pillars of the courtyard. The screen of the gate of the courtyard was embroiderer's work, of turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, and twisted linen, 20 cubits in length, and the height in width was 5 cubits, corresponding to the lace hangings of the courtyard. Their pillars 4, and their sockets 4, of copper, their hooks silver, and the plating of their tops and their bands silver. All the pegs of the tabernacle and the courtyard all around were copper.